Hi guys, I look dead. I feel it. I'm really tired. I just wanted to put this at the beginning of the video just to say that this video is it's like partly vlog and then part informational, which is what we like titled it to be. We're gonna be talking about just sort of like the expectations versus reality of being in the theme parks, at least for Universal Orlando, with everything going on, like with the masks and all that kind of stuff. So basically the first couple minutes is going to be vlog footage, which it's also good because like you'll hear us talking about the masks and that type thing, and then the second half of the video is going to be Skylar and I sitting down talking about different things that we noticed and observed, also while showing you a little bit of what we're talking about, if that makes sense, like showing you different things in the park. So I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions for us, like about the theme park specifically during this time, like how they do certain things, please comment them down below. We will be happy to answer them. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and we will see you next week for a full POV video of the Harry Potter train both ways, if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, watch it next week and you'll find out. Thanks.
Hi. So today is, what's today, June 18th? Yeah, it's 2:50 in the morning. We're going to Universal again. We went 2 weeks ago. We're going again. So, yeah. We decided to go early, like we did in February, for no reason, really, just to go. Yeah. Just to get there when, like, close to when they open.
Hi. I'll be looking rough already.
You can hold it like this.
We're at 3 Broomsticks and Island. We're gonna eat lunch. It's been a long morning.
Yeah, we got up at
2:15.
2:15.
And we got on the road at like 2:45. And then we had to stop at several bathrooms. My stomach was hurting. Yeah. But we made it. That's all that matters.
We here. And actually we're in 3 Broomsticks, right? And yeah, so this is, oh, I don't know why I'm so close to the camera. We're actually outside on the patio, and we're gonna show you a little bit of the new Jurassic World ride. That might, yeah. So let's see. There's that, and it comes like literally right there. It's like so close. Like, wow, crazy. It's pretty neat though. And we're hot, but it feels so much better today than it did last time. Right?
Yes.
Like, do.
Thank you. Okay, ladies,
I can't get it out of the thingy. Look what I'm on. Ew, I don't want to do it too much. It's one of them fans that blows water. It's a Mr. Fan. Mr.
Yep.
Fan.
Mr. Fan. Yeah, so we just wanted to update you because we suck with vlogging, like really bad. We did great on our first trip, second trip, and our third trip, but wait, no. Yeah.
This is the first trip.
This trip.
This is our third trip.
Okay, so, are you sure?
Well, our third trip is us.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Altogether it's our fifth trip. But we didn't vlog the first time. And then we vlogged 2017. I don't really like them. They're not that good. Yeah. And then we vlogged February. And then not 2 weeks ago. And then we're trying this time.
Yeah.
Trying.
It's just like, I think it's so hot, and with the mask and like all of that stuff, it's just a little bit more difficult.
Look at my eczema. It hurts.
So yeah, we'll talk to you in a little bit. We on the train. We on the old train.
So we're leaving Islands and going to Studios. We had lunch. It was good. Was yours good?
Yeah.
Tell them how the corn was.
It was pristine.
It was very good. Keep your masks on the train, so which sucks, but I understand because they don't clean them, you know, in between. Yeah, since like because of the social distancing thing, like your own party has your own cabin, so if you want to lay down, you can lay down. Like, and I saw several people who were just by themselves. Like there's an older guy who's by himself.
That's the best.
I just lay down, take a nap.
I lay up on the freaking floor.
Yeah.
Hi. Welcome to. Oh, my back.
No seating and please no tickling the crumbs on the train.
Guess what? We just saw Tim from the Tim Tracker here, and it feels weird.
Right. Yeah.
If you don't know who he is, I'll insert some pictures or like something, but I've watched him for years because he just does a bunch of theme park videos, and I never thought I'd see him, but we just saw him. He was vlogging about the Coke freestyle machines over by Men in Black, and I saw this guy and I'm like, oh, he's filming, he does YouTube. Then I'm looking and I'm like, wait a minute, that's Tim. And so I saw him and I was like, hey Tim, and he waved back, and then somebody else started talking to him. But that is so
Literally,
cool.
I looked at Jamie, I was like, he's vlogging, and she was like, wait. She was like, let me look at his hands.
Yeah, because I can tell by his hands. It sounds really weird, but like in his videos, his hands looks like somebody else I know. So I was like looking at that. But I'm like, I felt like I was gonna cry.
That's so cool that, like,
that's really cool.
that's how we know all of this stuff here.
Yeah, honestly. So now we're about to go ride E.T. and have a good time.
Yes, like our day was made for real.
Yes. Alright y'all, I'm sweating, my forehead is wet. Okay, so last time we filmed, we were on the train, we got to Studios, we walked around, we rode a couple things, we saw Tim, we updated y'all on that. We went shopping, now we're back on the train. Skylar died. But we're going back to Islands to ride Popeye to get cool. So.
Yes.
Oh man, it's a little foggy. It's a little foggy, but
It do be looking foggy.
so what's today, 20th?
Yes, today is the
So we're at Universal right now. It's hot, it's humid, but that's alright. But I think today what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of talk about like how things are in the park. We're going to talk about like how things really are in the park right now during all this, because I think there's a lot of things that Universal led people to believe are a certain way, but it's actually not, and stuff that they didn't expect, but it is. So we're going to talk about that today. This time we're going to talk about different topics related to the parks with coronavirus, or COVID-19, whatever you want to call it, the bug.
You don't have to wear a mask in the garage, but when you get up to the point where you have to, they scan your forehead to see your temperature, and you get hand sanitizer and all of that, you have to wear a mask through City Walk, and then on through the gates of Studios or Islands of Adventure, and it gets hot. Like, not even gonna lie. I mean, for the first little bit, it's okay. You're like, okay. But as the humidity starts rising and as the sun starts going, it gets a little bit hot. So you're gonna have to take breaks. Like, that's just the whole thing. You're gonna have to take breaks.
One thing that I don't think people realize, well, in the parks, if you have something to drink, like if you buy a butterbeer, like you can walk around the park and like have it down technically and be drinking it, but you're not supposed to. So it's one of those things where it's like when you see an employee coming, I'd put your mask back up.
Yeah.
But you still don't know if, like, you could walk by a person who's like freaked out about coronavirus. Now, if there's somebody freaked out, they shouldn't
even be there to begin
anyway.
with.
But you still don't know like who you're going to be walking by, so that's just sort of a personal preference thing. I mean, because we did it because it's like, you know, it's like what you should do is like step to the side and drink it, but like when you're actively walking to get somewhere else, it's just easier to pull it down, drink it, and then put it back up, you know. But you can,
and it's being considerate.
You can technically walk around, but I know when we went there last time, the second and third day, I noticed more employees out actively telling people to keep it on rather than the first day.
But they're not like standing over you.
Yeah, like, they're just standing in a certain area, and just as people are walking by, they're like, hey, put your mask back on, you know, keep it up. Because I saw several people that they're not drinking anything, they're not eating anything, they're just walking with it down, and they would get told, you know, to put it back up.
Yeah. The employees are really kind about it though. Like they've been taking serious measures, and like you have to like give Universal and City Walk and all the employees credit, because I mean they're doing a really good job and trying to keep everybody safe. Yeah. And
another thing with the masks is you do have to wear them on every single ride except the water rides. Even on One Fish, Two Fish, you still have to wear it, which I thought was a little odd, but you still have to wear it there. People with any kind of like certain health conditions like asthma or like COPD or anything like that, you can go to guest services and get a wristband that basically lets people know that you have permission to not wear a mask walking through the park. Yeah. You still have to put it on for the rides just like everybody else does, which is kind of odd, especially like for some of the rides when you're riding with your family alone. But that's just one of the rules they have put into place. So if you do have like asthma, you can still go to the parks and you can get a band that lets you not wear it outside, but inside you still gotta wear it, and on rides you still have to wear it. Yeah. So
maybe the big thing about wearing them on the rides is so like your spit, your saliva doesn't get everywhere, or I'm not really sure.
That will segue over into like cleaning of the ride vehicles. Before Universal opened, I heard from several people, and I think Universal kind of led on that they were going to be cleaning vehicles after every single use, which some of the rides I think they are, and then some of them I don't think they are. I think that was a misconception thing. Like for example, Transformers and Spider-Man, they don't. Like the vehicles come through, empty out, they go pick up new people. Yeah. Like, there's no cleaning involved whatsoever. Like Woody Woodpecker, we saw firsthand where it's not after every time, but after however many times, they'll spray it down and then let it run by itself empty a couple times so that it's not sticky with, you know, cleaning solution, sanitizer, whatever. We haven't seen it from personal experience because we haven't ridden it, but at least when they first opened, the Mummy was supposed to be spraying every vehicle every single time after it emptied out. I don't know if they're still doing that, but I think that was what everybody thought they would be doing for every single ride, but it's not the case at all. The train, I'm actually not sure if they clean or not.
I think they just spray.
Yeah, there was one time where like didn't see anybody do anything. We rode it 4 different times. Yeah. There was one time where like we didn't see anybody do anything. It was just like they emptied it and very quickly loaded people back on. And then there was another time where I saw an employee get a bottle of something. Yeah. But they may have just been doing that for one room. Like maybe it was a room where somebody had one of those bands or something. You know, I don't know. The time it took, I don't think she sprayed down every single room. Yeah. You know, and we only saw that one bottle. So, and the train, even though you're in a cabin with you and your party, you still have to wear a mask.
Yeah. They're doing live surveillance.
Yeah, like, they have cameras in there, which they've always had, but now they're just like telling people about it, whereas they used to not tell people about that.
And they literally will stop a ride, like cut down the music, everything. If you do not have your mask on, they will let you know that you need to put it back on.
They did that especially on ET. Yeah. Because we were on ET 2 different times with people or a person who decided to take their mask down, and they would just come over the thing and please, you know, keep all face covering on, blah blah blah. So they're watching, like they're watching more now than they ever used to. So just leave that in mind. But the rides, every single ride, no matter what it is, you do get hand sanitizer. Some of the hand sanitizer is a little weird. Yeah. Some of it is really thick and almost sticky. Yeah, almost like a gel, but like like a hair gel almost.
Yeah.
And then some of it's like normal sanitizer. So
and if you get it wet, it's like it's slick.
It like reactivates. It becomes really, really wet and nasty.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they have a policy of like, if you bring your own hand sanitizer, you can use it as long as they see you use it. That may be something. Like if you know, I don't like, because I'm sure there's some people that like literally can't use certain hand sanitizers because if they have something in it, like some of the hand sanitizers have aloe in it, and I know some people can be allergic to aloe. They do give you hand sanitizer when you get on the ride. They don't do it when you get off. And I remember hearing a lot of people ask for that. Like,
yeah, I remember that.
We'd get off, and there'd several people who'd go up to the employee and say, do you happen to have hand sanitizer with you? But I think that's just sort of a personal preference thing. I didn't feel the need to wash my hands or get more hand sanitizer after getting off of a ride. I just didn't. That was just me.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't feel gross or anything. 3D glasses at certain rides, they do hand you those, and I'm assuming they still clean those like they always have. I don't think any of that has changed. Except for the fact that they just hand them to you now instead.
They're not on trays or anything where you go and pick them up yourself like Transformers does or Green Gots or anything like that. Yeah, they're not doing
the employee will give you hand sanitizer first, and then they'll hand you just a stack of glasses of however many your party needs, and then you hand them out within your party.
Tip, if you're wearing the mask and the glasses, bring your mask all the way up so it does not fog up the 3D glasses.
Literally like right here. If you put it here and then have the glasses over, it won't fog. Because I think it was like the first time we rode either Transformers or Spider-Man, like we couldn't see anything.
We were just like,
because it was so
literally
like, it was fogged up. One of the things I think, this is just sort of like crazy that Universal hasn't, I mean, I'm sure they've thought of, but they just don't do anything about it, is if you are going to Universal and you still are concerned with it being too crowded, or just with if they keep up social distancing rules through everything, I personally would not ride the train. Getting onto the train, you're fine. Like, everybody's still spaced out, no problem. But when you're leaving the train, everybody just leaves in one huge mass. There's no like one lines, at a time. There's no cabin, like
no 6 feet.
What they should do is go to each individual cabin and open it up and let them go. But instead they just open all the doors up automatically like they always have, and
it's
just
like a herd of cattle.
And you have to go down the staircases, and I mean, it's just people everywhere going down the staircases and leaving all at the same time. So it's like when I see stuff like that, it's like, okay, then why are we doing what we did to get on? Because you're like, it's defeating the purpose. Right. That's pretty much the only thing where it was like they just didn't worry about social distancing, was the train. Talking about crowd levels, we were there June 6th and then June 18th, like those weekends. The first weekend they were open, I mean, it was dead. Literally nobody. And I think it was because it was the weather, because it was like storming all weekend. That was the weekend where there was like 3 tornadoes in Orlando. We were there in the top floor of a hotel. It was a little scary, but the crowd levels were very low. Wait times for everything were pretty much walk on. I think that first time we went, the longest we waited was like 15 minutes or something. I don't remember what it was, but it was it was nothing. The trip of the 18th, it was hot. It was really hot. So hot. The sun was beaming. Yeah, it wasn't the weather that was keeping people away. It's just people aren't coming. And I read an article that said at that time, whenever the article was written, that Universal has yet to reach their 25% capacity. So they're not even reaching capacity at any day they're open, which I was surprised by. But, which is good, because that means you can still go from park to park, whether you take the train or just walk. You won't get turned away. But even last time we went, the wait times were still low. The longest we waited was ET, and I think we waited maybe 20 minutes. Yeah, because, well, I don't know what was going on that day, if it broke down or there was just a lot of people in the line. One of the things, like mentioning ET specifically, certain rides pre-shows are gone. ET being one of them. You no longer go into the room where they play the I was about to say Steve Irwin, Steven Spielberg video, which is sad because I really like that video. But they don't play it anymore, which I understand, because they wouldn't be able to social distance that. You know, they'd only have a tiny amount of people at a time. So I understand, but it's just sad because I feel like some of these a lot of things are going to become permanent changes.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's probably one of them.
It's a straight line. Yeah.
It works a lot better. Goes a lot quicker.
It really does.
Men in Black took out their pre-show. Which that one, I feel like they may bring it back or change it somehow, because if you don't have that, if you've never ridden Men in Black before and you go in there without the pre-show, you don't necessarily understand like why the ride is the way it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because the whole point of it is you're on a tour and then things go wrong. And like if you've never seen that, you just don't know that.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure about Minion Mayhem. They have a pre-show.
Oh yeah.
But we hadn't ridden it ever since Corona, so I don't know if they have changed things. Shows itself are still going on. They're just spacing people out. Like Shrek's still going on.
Yeah, that was weird actually, because the Harry Potter shows, the people who were singing still had masks on, but then you go and you see the characters at like the Toon Lagoon area or like the Marvel, you know, area, they did not have masks on.
I wonder if that's just based on like how popular a character is.
Yeah.
Like if a more popular character that's going to be taking more pictures, they may make them wear a mask because people are going to want to get closer. Whereas like a random character that not many people know of, they may not put them in a mask because they're not going to have to worry about crowd levels being crazy for them. I don't know.
But there is a 6-foot distance with the characters. When you take pictures with them, you can't go up to them like I am with Jamie. You can't do that. They're
still doing all of their character stuff. They're, like I said, it's just different. And like she said, there's a social distance. Basically, like if the character is here, you would be standing 6 feet in front of me to take a picture. It's just like they space it right to where it looks like you're still next to them, but you're not. And on some, I don't think it's for everywhere, but some picture locations you can choose to keep your mask on or off. Because like I know there's a stage in front of E.T. that every now and then SpongeBob characters will be at, the Trolls will be at, and like Puss in Boots was there one time. Because those are covered characters, I think you can go up closer to them and you can take your mask off if you want. They're not doing the parades, any sort of parades, because they don't want crowds gathered up. So like for some reason they parked the Minion float outside the studios for pictures, and then we saw the Dora float one time. The SpongeBob stuff comes out at a different time. The Secret Life of Pets comes out at another time. I think the individual floats still go on their main path, but it's just one at a time, and they'll stop and let people come up for pictures, but still distance. Pretty much every single ride, as long as your party isn't like huge, you're in your own cart, like for anything. The only rides that you may share with another party is if your party is small. Like it was just us two. On Transformers, there was another party of 2 in the front row. We were in the 3rd row. Everybody still has their masks on like normal, but they still put 2 parties in one cart. But we're still spaced out, so it's like it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, well, Popeye's different. I'm surprised they put multiple parties in Popeye because the mask is off. We didn't expect that. When we rode Popeye the first weekend in June, it was just our party. There was 4 of us. It was just us. But I think it's because it was 4 of us. But a party of 2, like we were recently, we got in with another party of 2. Now we sat like across from each other. The lady told us where to sit based on where the first party had gotten in and sat. But we rode it with that same party actually again a second time because we like vibed well. So we were like talking to them. We were having a conversation with them as we were riding Popeye.
Yeah, literally.
So we rode with them again a second time, and they didn't sit together. They actually like sat apart, but we still sat together. But I think Universal like the people working at Popeye, they just thought we were partying together, so like it didn't matter. But that's something to consider. I assume that if you are a party of 1 or 2, maybe 3, and you don't feel comfortable with having another party in your boat, you just need to let them know. Otherwise, they'll stick another party of 2 in there with you if it happens to line up that way. So keep that in mind. Like on Forbidden Journey, it's just us. On Men in Black, you get your own cart because the rows are like really close to each other. E.T. they may put you with, if they'll use like the 1st and 3rd rows. Hippogriff and Woody Woodpecker, they'll like try to space one empty cart in between. I assume Hagrid does the same thing. We didn't ride it this past time. Not sure about Simpsons. Well, yeah, we did. Simpsons we rode, but it was a party of 4. That's one thing too. If you have a bigger party, probably party of 4 or more, like they'll literally just tell you y'all can sit wherever. Like, you can sit, like, it was a party of 4 of us one time riding Spider-Man, and 3 of us sat in the front row, but then one of them sat in the back row.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
He just wanted to. So you can still choose where you want to sit if you have a bigger party. So that's nice, that's cool, because it's like you may get to experience something different, you know. And because the crowds are lower, some rides you can ask to sit in certain rows. Like we asked if we could sit in the back row on Woody Woodpecker, because I mean there's just nobody there. Like there's literally
we were the only ones riding.
Like honestly, right at this time, fast passes, you don't need them.
You don't need them at all. Like you would be wasting your money getting a fast pass.
So don't do it. Now going into the next topic, July 4th. I think, and like we are filming this July 2nd, and I'm hoping to post this today. I think it may be a little different this weekend for July 4th, especially because beaches are now closed again in Florida. So I feel like a lot of locals are going to look towards Universal, because that's about the only thing still open. I'm actually like a little curious to see how it's going to go, because Universal has already laid off a lot of employees because they weren't needing them. I don't think that was a good decision on Universal's part, but I don't work there, I can't say nothing. I think, or I hope that doesn't come back to bite them in the butt if like the crowds are insane.
Awful.
So Disney is going to be opening, if they still open, July 11th. And I feel like after that, the crowds will go up again at Universal, because there's a lot of people who will go to Universal because they're already there for Disney. A lot of people wait and go to both parks. And then another reason why I think Universal crowds are going to go up is when Disney does open, you're not allowed to park hop, and that's crazy. Not a lot of people, the average family vacation can't necessarily spend a whole day at one park, because they have kids who need to go take a nap, or kids that only ride 2 rides at a park. So I feel like if they're a family that goes to both parks, they may go to Universal for like half the day when they're done at Magic Kingdom or done at Animal Kingdom or whatever. I'm very interested to see what Universal's future looks like in the next couple weeks, because I think it's going to change. And especially this weekend, I could definitely see them hitting their capacity and having to turn people away. Now, if you are a Universal hotel guest, you get guaranteed to get in, whereas at Disney, you won't. So do with that what you will. Like, if anybody sees this and in the future you're planning a Disney and Universal vacation, I would stay at a Universal hotel, just so you know you can at least get in there. Because if you stay at a Disney hotel, you literally may not be able to get in, which is really stupid, but that's what Disney's doing. Universal's better. One of the other things that I think they led people to believe that they would be cleaning and they aren't is the lockers.
Only one person of your party can go and put your bags up. I can understand because of the social distancing thing. I was about to say Men in Black has that, where only one person can go. Journey, if you're getting on the ride, Forbidden Journey, you have to, only one person can go. Fun fact is, I didn't know that Men in Black lockers, you could keep the big ones for 3 hours? 3 hours after you pay for it. So there you go. It's social distancing right there. If you just have to wait. If somebody's at a locker, you can't just go up there and stand behind them. It's not, you have to wait.
Which, like, for the case of like Gringotts and Forbidden Journey, that helps, because those locker areas have always been insanely packed. So I mean, that helps a little bit. But like, you know, for Men in Black, I mean, it doesn't bother me, but it's just like, it's just sort of a, I don't want to say hassle, because it's a good idea, you know, it helps. It's just one of those things that you don't realize, because it does, like for Men in Black, it takes a little bit longer, because like you do have to stand there and wait on, especially if you need a bigger locker, you have to wait until one of those becomes available sometimes. Distinctively remember, I don't know if it was Universal that said it, or if it was somebody who like works with Universal or is like in close ties with people at Universal. I remember hearing that Universal was going to be cleaning lockers. Like, I remember hearing that. They don't. Now, I would hope that maybe they do at the end of the night or something, or at the start of every day, but they are not in between people at all, because it would literally slow it down to a point where it would really become a hassle.
And they're not cleaning the pin pads, like the screens or anything like that when you have to put your fingerprint in or anything.
Yeah, I think the only fingerprint ones are
Journey,
all the Harry Potter lockers.
Yeah.
Everything else is your card or your ticket.
Yeah.
Building new lockers for Forbidden Journey outside to the left of the castle, so maybe those will be like with your card. But the Hagrid lockers are a little bit different. They're still the same style locker, but most rides you either go to the locker before you get in line, or you get in line and kind of like Forbidden Journey, one person goes to put your stuff up and then you just go into line. Hagrid's a little bit different. Hagrid is fully virtual line. You can't just get into line. You have to have the app on your phone and have a virtual pass. But sometimes the line is still down into Lost Continent, almost Dr. Seuss. So you have to get in line. You have to wait in that line to get into the lockers, even if you have no stuff. That's what's crazy. If you do not have to put anything in a locker, you still have to wait in that line. And then you go through the lockers if you need them, and then you get in line into the physical ride itself. It's a little crazy, but it is what it is. So just keep that in mind. That even if
they have it gated off.
Yeah, even if you don't, you can't just walk into the lockers. Like they put the line to where the line goes through the locker area. So it's a little crazy. Inside lines and like outside little like snack stands or drink stands, and for the most part plenty of other places in the park, there's signs and stickers everywhere talking about social distancing. And Transformers, if you've ever been through the full Transformers line, there's a room where it sort of snakes up and down like a hill. Well, because of the 6-foot rule, like there'll be a sticker here on the ramp, here on the ramp, here on the ramp, and then there won't be a sticker on the next part of the ramp because they don't want people standing next to each other. Well, a lot of people don't look at the stickers, and so they'll just end up standing right next to somebody. So once again,
defeating the purpose of the social distancing.
Once again, if you're somebody that like is a little worried about going, I mean, people aren't doing it on purpose. It's just people
don't pay attention.
Yeah, they're just not. They're not used to having to look at where to stop on the ground. So, but you could always solve that problem by not riding certain rides that are more like tight in the line. It's like under the archway going into Hogsmeade. That area, because the Hagrid line a lot of times starts in Lost Continent, there's a ton of people who are walking through Lost Continent to get to the Hagrid line, and then they don't realize that they already passed it, and so then they get to an employee, and the employee's like, oh, it's way back there, and so then they turn around and are coming walking against the crowd. So yeah, it's a little crowded through there. The best way to avoid that, if you don't want to get a part of that, is go into Seussland and then turn around and go the other way. Just don't go through Lost Continent. I mean, besides Poseidon's Fury, let's just be honest, there's really nothing in Lost Continent anyway, even though it is the shorter way to Hogsmeade, because I know Jurassic Park would be long.
Oh, it's so long.
It's so long. It's still, if you want to avoid the crowd, I would definitely go through Superhero Island and Toon Lagoon to get to Harry Potter area, because that will cut off a lot of crowd. There's a little bit of crowd near the Butterbeer line because they have like 2 Butterbeer stations right off the bridge coming out of Jurassic Park, but that line is nothing like the Hagrid line, so it's still relatively, safe. Restaurants are done all through the mobile app, which I personally like. Basically, you can either order before you even get sat at a table, or you can order once you get sat at a table.
It takes a little bit, like,
depending on how busy it is. Because sometimes it would take like 10 minutes for us to get our food, and then one time it felt like it took almost an hour. So it just depends.
But they're doing, if you buy $175 worth of stuff, you get a free wand. It's not one of your choice, though. It's one of the 3 or 2 that they have out there on display. But
I think that's every store. I remember seeing some of those signs in Islands. I think they change which wands to choose from, either every couple days or every week. What I noticed was in each area, especially in islands, there's basically like one quick service restaurant that's not open.
Yeah.
Like there was a restaurant in Toon Lagoon, not open. The Betty Boop store, not open. There was I think it was the
Captain America Diner was not open.
There was a walk-up restaurant in Jurassic Park's not open.
The burgers, the dino thing.
Yeah, I don't know about Lost Continent. And I think everything in Seuss is open that's normally open. Green Eggs and Ham is one of those seasonal stores or restaurants. It wasn't open, but Wimpy's in Toon Lagoon was.
Yep.
Now, if you go at lunchtime, it's crowded. Like, there's a long line.
Where at?
Wimpy's.
Yeah.
Because I had to wait what felt like hours for just a cup of ice cream.
If you have any other questions, just comment down below and we will try to answer them to the best of our ability.
Yes, we will. Next week, we are uploading a full POV window and door seat, or whatever you'd call it, of the Harry Potter train both ways.
Yep.
Going to Hogsmeade and then going to Diagon Alley or King's Cross Station. So if you want to see that, stay tuned for next week's video.
Hit that bell notification.
And we will see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.